been a while since I've done a DMC Theory video, and this one's going to be a pretty short one, but it was something that caught my attention when I was playing DMC1 on stream. And I think I talked about it briefly, but it was always in the back of my head, and the other day I sort of did a little more testing with it, and so here we are. So, when I was playing DMC1 on a stream, I would use the bangle of time, and I was like, ha, I can fuck over everything. Until these tentacles came out and fucked me from the wall. And I got scared, because that's not supposed to happen. The fucking bangle of time works on everybody, except shit related to Mundus. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute. Those tentacles later on reappeared on Mundus's body at the end of the game. And I was like, well, hang on, these tentacles are here too, inside this random fleshy part of the underworld that is never seen again and looks eerily similar to what Leviathan's insides look like to a degree, with even doors that have like claws opening and closing. So then it kind of hit me with a theory, again, pretty simple. You're actually inside Mundus during the events of DMC1's Underworld. Now, obviously, gotta backtrack a little bit here to talk about this, but I think I can make at least a semi-decent case for this crack theory. And I've been pretty around theories before, so I think I'm onto something here. Next one will be the DeLorean Virgil video. Gonna be fucking a classic, I'm sure. So this underworld is very unique. It's never shown again. It does blow up at the end of DMC1, and it also is very hard to get into. Like, you specifically have to go to the mirror world, which seems to be Mundus's own dimension, which has Mundus's creatures in it, and only Mundus's creatures go through it. This mirror world never appears in DMC ever again. And then you have to get the Philosopher's Egg, which creates the Philosopher's Stone, which then creates the Philosopher's Elixir, or the Elixir. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the item list right now, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you have to go into Mundus' specific dimension and use basically Mundus' shit to create the key that takes you to this underworld. That's a fleshy substance area that just happens to never show up again and only appears one time with one person. Now, of course, I was like, alright, so the tentacle's there. Maybe it's just coincidence, you know? Even though everything else that Mundus creates is affected, like nobody's by time and shit, in the game, maybe it's just this. Actually, yeah, nobody's are affected by the bangle of time. This guy, however, and I was like, so I was going through it, all good, testing out the bangle of time on shit, and then I was like, oh wait, there's a giant fucking heart in the middle of the room. A heart that pumps blood through its entire system and also protects Mundus's door. So, logic would dictate that if this would potentially be inside Mundus, this heart would be unaffected by the bangle of time. And lo and behold, it's also unaffected by the bangle of time. There's also a lava room and shit. Mundus does summon lava during the fight, so he is particularly fond of it for some fucking reason. And there's also a dragon in there. The only other dragon we know of in DMC1 is Mundus' dragon, which I believe is also referred to as Pluto. I could be wrong there. Again, I'm looking at the scans right now. So, basically, I believe during the events of DMC1, the underworld you are actually in is inside Mundus' body. This would also explain why you don't see Mundus' true form at any point throughout the actual final fight. You only see the vessel form, and you only really see the damage to his body and the cracks and stuff and his body appearing outside of this reality, or outside of the demon world. Because even in his own world, when his body's falling apart, you don't really see the orange blob substance that is very clearly predominant throughout his entire body. And this would make perfect sense if you're inside his body and you're actually fighting just like a Mundus-controlled statue, so to speak. This would also explain why there's a Mundus statue on Malai, or at least this will be consistent, not explain, but this will be consistent with the fact that there's a statue on the island that disappears once you start getting more demonic in the island, which is indicating that that was Mundus' statue and that was Mundus watching you. So, Mundus can very clearly control statues and make them appear in other areas. So, I think that's also why, you know, there's a whole heaven aesthetic down there as well. We've never seen an aesthetic quite like that in the underworld up until this point, or at that point or beyond. Even in DMC3, the closest thing we get to that white area doesn't have as much of a, like, regal or holy aesthetic. Anyways, so basically what I'm trying to get at is you're actually just inside Mundus for the entirety of DMC1's finale until you get out of the underworld. So, yeah, basically that's the end of the theory. So basically what I'm trying to say is, damn it, I want to make a joke here, but I don't want to for YouTube's sake. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. That's ultimately the theory here. I didn't get time to finish the script, but I haven't had enough time to record fucking anything recently. So that's kind of why it's a bit rushed. Thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next stream or video.